This is KGW News at noon.
We start this noon with a warning from Portland police as the number of kids overdosing on fentanyl skyrockets. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Brenda Braxton. I want you to take a look at the data PPB released just hours ago. Since mid-June, 10 children between the ages of 1 and 17 have overdosed. 5 of them have died. Fentanyl is suspected in all but one of those cases. Now remember, those 10 overdoses happened in just the last 3 months. For perspective, the Bureau says that's more than it investigated during the last 3 years. So that increase definitely staggering, hence the warning. Also developing this noon, Portland homicide detectives are on the scene at Southeast Division near 26th. One person has died there. Officers responded to a report of an assault and found a man dead just before 4:30 this morning. They haven't said how he was killed, only that the suspects left the scene before officers got there and no one has been arrested. Be sure to look for updates on air and on KGW.com. Happening right now in the nation's capital, House Republicans holding the first public hearing of their impeachment inquiry into President Biden, among other things. This proceeding will focus on whether Biden was involved in or benefited from his family's foreign business dealings. The White House blasted this hearing as, quote, extreme politics at its worst. This is not a formal impeachment trial. The GOP says the hearing is to provide accountability and make their case against Biden to the public. Well, 7 GOP presidential hopefuls went head-to-head in the second Republican debate last night. The frontrunner, Donald Trump, wasn't there. He held his own event with auto workers in Michigan. A new NBC News poll shows Trump and Biden are neck and neck in the race for the White House next year. Drew Petrimo is here with the latest.
GOP presidential candidates taking aim at each other and the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, who wasn't even in the room, but is leading in the polls.
You're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on this stage and defending your record.
Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight.
The candidates' ire also focused on President Biden, who drew criticism on everything from the economy to border security.
Joe Biden waved the green flag. It told everybody to come. And now we've seen 6 million people cross the border. We've had more fentanyl that have killed Americans in the Iraq, Vietnam, or Afghanistan wars combined.
Wages are not keeping up with inflation. Auto workers and all American workers are feeling it, and families are struggling in this economy.
One issue dividing the Republican candidates, the war in Ukraine.
Our national vital interest is in degrading the Russian military.
The reality is just because Putin's an evil dictator does not mean that Ukraine is good.
We're going to give Ukraine to Russia, and then we're going to give Taiwan to China, and think that's a foreign policy. That will make our nation less successful.
During the debate, Trump speaking to supporters at an auto parts supplier outside Detroit, seeming to poke fun at the candidates debating.
You know, we're competing with the job candidates. They're all running for a job. No, they're all job candidates. They want to be in they'll do anything. Secretary of something. They even say VP. I don't know. Does anybody see any VP in the group? I don't think so.
The latest NBC News poll shows Trump leading the Republican primary by 40 points.
Now to more local headlines we're tracking for you this noon. 2 drug recovery programs are losing state funding. Both are accused of mismanaging money. The grants are connected to Measure 110, which decriminalized small amounts of hard drugs and funneled money into recovery programs. According to the Oregon Capital Chronicle, the state health authority is ending grants to Bright Transitions here in Portland and Origin's Faith Community in Ontario. It's pulling the grants after employee complaints about how the money was being used. A cemetery mix-up is heading to court. Skyline Memorial Gardens in Portland says it accidentally sold a burial plot twice, and now it's suing to get it back. The family of Tiber Harrison buried his ashes after he was hit and killed by a car in 2016. Skyline now wants to remove the ashes from the vault because somebody else actually owns the space. Harrison's family says the mistake is the cemetery's responsibility, not theirs. And the Portland City Council just approved investing $750 million in a clean energy fund. The projects will help the city get to net zero emissions by the year 2050. The money is coming from a 1% tax on large retailers in Portland. This is part of an initiative that voters approved in Portland back in 2018. Okay, we are on the backside of the work week and the backside of the rain. Rod, it's not totally gone yet, but we're getting there.
We are. I like how you tied all that together. The weekend's coming. The weekend forecast looks great. We'll have that for you coming up a little bit later in the show. So far today, a mix of sun breaks and you see the showers coming in. Notice very little of anything showing up once you get over into central and eastern Oregon. The showers have been fizzling as they move up over the Cascades. For the most part, some light showers out around the gorge. And right now, Portland to Salem, we are dry. There's a larger chunk of rain down around Newport. There's a low pressure system out to sea producing that. Here's Lincoln City, though. Some thinning of the cloud cover from Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera and some sun breaks over downtown. We're currently at 62. High today, 65. Temps won't do much. Winds are light. Scattered shower chance through this evening. After that, the rain chance really starts to squish. We'll have an improving forecast for your weekend coming up.
I like it. Thank you, Rod. Well, the rain is helping slow the spread of 7 wildfires in Olympic National Park. The Delabar fire is the largest at more than 4,000 acres. The rest are much smaller. Lightning started all of them at the end of August. In the meantime, in the North Cascades, the sourdough fire started in July and is 25% contained. The National Park Service doesn't expect that number to change until the area gets more rain or snow. Some western Washington cities are now asking residents to voluntarily conserve water because it hasn't rained enough up there. It was an unusually dry summer and the region's reservoirs just aren't full. It's typical to see 23 inches of rain from January through October, but so far this year that number is around 17, even with this week's rain. So, utilities in the Seattle area are asking people to conserve.
A week ago we were using about 150 million gallons per day. That's dropped by 30 million gallons in the span of a week.
Seattle Public Utilities says it'll ask everyone to conserve water until sustained rain fully replenishes area reservoirs. Well, a tiny beetle is quickly becoming a big threat to oak trees in Oregon. It's called the Mediterranean oak borer, and it's the size of about a sesame seed. It's real small. So one was found in Troutdale with several more in Wilsonville. It's not the beetles themselves that kill the trees, it's a fungus they spread as they dig. We talked to the Oregon Department of Forestry about it.
But when you have an invasive insect that comes into an area, there really isn't a whole lot that you can do to eradicate, if anything at all. But slowing the spread is effective. There are a lot of strategies, and so we're tackling that head on.
Experts still don't know how the beetles got here or if they tend to attract trees that are already diseased. Our article on KGW.com includes details on what to watch out for and how to report it.